Folks, welcome to an all-new So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Thursday episode. It is a very special episode we're doing today. We are celebrating the return of the one, the only, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 1. We are starting with a clean slate, even though all of these ladies seem like they already have just a huge amount of grudges and dislikes built up season after season. Listen, Dorit, the gloves are off and the cigarettes are in, baby. Fuck it! Smoke 'em if you got 'em! It's me, Dorit! Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop. I will be smoking! I have to tell you, I primarily vape now, and she made it look so damn... Hey, parents, do not let your kids watch this episode, because they'll be like, Mom, who's that cool lady smoking in a canyon about to burn an entire Beverly Hills area down? Well, that's Dorit. That's just Dorit. She's just had enough. It's season 14, and a lot of things are happening. I'm gonna smoke! It's the real Dorit! Also, Dorit at some point, started losing her Dorit accent. She was like, what's up? It's me, Dorit. It's been a fucking tough year. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke. Let's do this. I'm here for it, but I watched this episode. Now, I've watched this episode a bunch of times, but it is wild to really, there is something insidious going on in Beverly Hills. You feel the tension, right? And I said this today, I said, obviously the separation and potential divorce of PK and Dorit, that is this big storyline. But the true divorce, the divorce underneath all of this, is the relationship between Dorit and Kyle. That is the real divorce. Dorit almost seems more pissed and angry about the Kyle relationship than she does about me and PK, whatever. But fuck Kyle, fuck it, give me a Marlboro Red, baby. That's the one that you really have to watch. It's just, this was an extended episode, and it really, if we're starting here, it's going to get nasty. And I want to say that, first off, if you're a housewife, and especially a Beverly Hills housewife, do not listen to these episodes. You are bound to get your feelings hurt at some point. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but I'm just trying to say the things that I feel, trying to be a little goofy, a little LOL, and hopefully you guys can enjoy this. If you're new to this podcast or new to these recaps, just like the Vanderpump, just like the Salt Lake, we go all out. I do all the voices. These are not accurate voices. These are inspired by. These are inspired by voices. Usually they do not sound anything like the characters, but it's just my interpretation as a podcasting artist. These are my interpretations of these characters, and I have not done a lot of these voices, these really bad voices, in a while. So it's going to take me a second to warm up. I did my vocal exercises, but we'll walk through this together. But we gotta get there quickly, because this episode starts with a bang. There are so many things and so many storylines over the run of Beverly Hills. Just 3 seasons ago, it was the Erika Jayne mess, right? And then Lisa Rinna. Guess what? I'm still not back on Beverly Hills. I'm too busy eating Harry's Bolognese and doing the runway. I'm a fashionista. Get my new brands at Walmart. Lisa Rinna is still not with us. Erika Jayne now has been able to sidestep so many of her issues that were focused on in the show. And Erika Jayne in this episode, she's back to shopping, baby. She's shopping at the Pacific Design Center. This ain't no IKEA furniture. Pacific Design Center, if you're going to shop there, you got to bring a lot of money. It's a very pricey store. So Erika already up to her old tricks, and by old tricks, I mean just spending money. Hopefully it's hers this time, but you never know. But Erika almost comes off as like this kind of caring, sympathetic person, and I think it's because the weight of the world, or the weight of her relationship with Tom Girardi, is not as much on her, or on her in the public spotlight, as it once was, right? So she almost gets to, I feel like not a deal was made, but I mean, I always think of these shows as like hot potato. Like everybody's got to have the hot potato at some point, and you don't know if it's going to be your turn with the hot potato or not. And I think Dorit has the hot potato this season, but at the same time, they've been trying to get Kyle to grab this hot potato forever. And Kyle, OG, been there since season 1. It's hard for her, right? Like, I don't think she is completely manipulative in terms of storylines, but I think she's a caring person that tries to protect her family. Her divorce with Mauricio, whatever's going on with Morgan Wade. Hey guys, it's me, Morgan. You only get to see me in a little flashback. I wish I could be in it more, but I don't think Kyle wants me there. So she does protect these things, and she does it in a way where you do empathize with her, and I think it's because she's been with us from the beginning. But I think that's also fueling a lot of Dorit's anger, right? Like, I have to fucking give everything to keep my job! Beep boop bop beep boop boop boop. That's what it feels like. If remember that rumor that was circulating after the reunion of Beverly Hills last season, where they said producers had a stern talking with Dorit and said, "You've got to bring it. You got to talk about what's going on in your and PK's relationship," because obviously it had been going on, or this had been going on for a while, for a hot minute, and she was able to sidestep a lot of it on the show. So I do feel at some point there was a conversation had with Dorit like, "Yo, you got to have the hot potato this season." "Oh, Kyle didn't have to have the hot potato. It was a very lukewarm potato for Kyle." So it's interesting. I do wonder if some of the negativity or some of the vibe Dorit is giving Kyle is because she doesn't feel like Kyle has had to face the same adversity as she is facing right now, even though that to me is inherently not true, because we've seen Kyle. I mean, like, even if Kyle doesn't talk about it on the show, we all see it. We all speculate about it. We all talk about it. So this will be very interesting. And I think this Dorit and Kyle relationship is going to be completely obliterated by the end of the season. We're not doing any Shannon Bedore Tamra makeups at the end. I mean, I could be wrong. I often am. That's not true. I'm right a lot of the times. Sorry. I'm trying not to be cocky, but I do have a decent try. I think I'm a solid C average on being correct about things, which that's a passing grade, folks. So I'm going to be interested. Bose, the new housewife, I love her already. I can't wait to learn more about her. And we've talked about this on the show before. She comes from such a really high pedigree in terms of just the jobs she's had. I mean, this is a business woman. I mean, this person has been in charge forever. And she already had a really good first episode. Nothing like insane, but a solid showing. We have Jennifer Tilly, the famed actor, Sutton's friend. She's a friend of this season, and you can just tell these ladies get in trouble with each other. They kind of egg each other on, and it's wild because one person usually will be the straight man and then one the comedian, and there's not a straight man in this group. Jennifer Tilly and Sutton, they're both, I can't imagine the damage that they've done throughout the years. Now Sutton, I feel like, is in a place where she's finally potentially fully confident in her abilities, and that might be misplaced confidence. That might bite her on the ass at some point. Garcel filling that slot as what we like to call the reliable narrator. We'll see if she's able to hold that the entire season, because Garcel, she'll have dust-ups with Dorit. She'll say what she feels about certain things, but she's never fully had the hot potato yet, if you know what I'm talking about. And I will say, I do miss Crystal on this show. And I will say, just working with Crystal a little bit on the Jeff Lewis show, if you listen to the Jeff Lewis show, you get to kind of hear the full Crystal. And I don't know if the show was ever able to actually spotlight that yet. And I thought she had earned another season. So I will say, in watching this, I kind of was missing Crystal here and there. And I would have liked to have heard her commentary at times. But other than that, we've got 6 main cast members, and then you have Jennifer Tilly. You also have Kathy Hilton. Kathy Hilton, how many fucking machines is Kathy Hilton hooked up to? We have her first episode. I was like, is Kathy Hilton part AI? Is she one of those Elon Musk robots at this point? Like, is this like the Terminator? Like, how much of OG Kathy is there? Or is like, I am all machine. It's me, Kathy Hilton, the Hiltonator. Kathy Hilton is so rich that she doesn't give a fuck how she looks on screen. She'll tear out her hair extensions, and that's just a Tuesday. She does not. I mean, when Dorit is summoned over to Kathy Hilton's, and she literally is sipping some sort of beverage that's keeping her alive through a straw while she has like all these patches on her face. It looks like IVs are hooked up to her. Like, it's like, this is glam. This is starting to look really painful. Like, Kathy's been in glam since 12 o'clock last night. We gotta go. Okay, so you can tell I'm excited. Also, Juliana Carrazza is back taking notes. I've been doing my own notes now for a long time, and she is clocked in. Juliana's clocked in. She killed it with these notes. So I'm going to be working off her script, which is going to be so much better. Juliana, thank you for your service as always. I have missed working with you. So she is back to bring this. You know what? There was a little bit of Salt Lake City in this. There was a little bit of the lunacy that I love in Salt Lake City this season. There's a little bit of that in Beverly Hills. Still, like I said, more insidious than Salt Lake City, but it was still bizarre. I mean, Dorit shows up to that party at the end with a fucking like table on her head. It was like my parents' coffee table in the 70s. I was like, holy shit, I bet that weighs like 60 pounds. Like, oh, what is this? This is 2 kilograms of glass on my head. Beep boop bobby boop boop boop. By the way, if you are new to the show, like I said earlier, the Dorit impersonation was because I always used to call Dorit 3PO, like C3PO, the Star Wars little robot was like, Master Luke, Master Luke. You know, like that was where it came from. So I will always do like, beep boop 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 boop, like a little robot. That's where Dorit came from. She's a child of the world. Her accent is always fluctuating. So that's where the inspiration for Dorit comes from. Guys, I'm still I know we're all thrilled because I saw the memes, but I mean, listen. I was flipping through Instagram last night. I saw so many memes with the Dorit smoking picture that I think I got lung cancer. I was like, this can't be. I'm like feeling like smoky just like opening my Instagram with the amount of memes. But that's good. If the memes are strong, that means the show is strong. And we are looking for strong shows on Bravo across the board. A couple of things. Listen, I know there's a lot of news going on in the world right now. I mean the world in terms of Bravo. We'll cover that at another point, but one quick thing that just came out. Ashley Darby finally filed for divorce from Michael Darby. They did the Potomac reunion today, so I believe she announced it then, and then now People has an exclusive about that. So you can go read about that, but she's finally, after a couple of years, finally filed for divorce from Michael Darby, right? Shannon Bedore and John Jansen, they have, the lawsuit is done. They have come to terms. It's not going to trial. I said last week that I was hoping to be a juror on this court case between Johnny J and Shannon. Well, it is done. The matter has been resolved. We'll go more into that on the OC reunion, which will be out on Saturday, that recap. And I will tell you, I just before this watched the third part of the OC recap. And I'm not allowed to say, well, I don't know what they have these like embargoes that you can't say anything. All I will say, it's really intense, and make sure you stay until the very end. Make sure you do not turn off 45, 50 minutes into the episode. Make sure you watch the entire reunion. That's all I'm going to say to you right now. And the other thing I want to say to you, I had a really long, busy day yesterday. And then when you get done with your day, like I start watching Bravo again or whatever shows I need to watch for the show. And they sent me the Southern Charm premiere, which I think airs December 5th. Bapa-doo, bapa-dee-ee. This show, I think it was like, I hit me at the right time. I was laughing hysterically during the Southern Charm premiere. We'll talk about it there are a couple scenes with Austin, Craig, and Shep that I was rolling. And JT, this dude is on another level. Like already, I mean, this season, I don't know. Like I wasn't really expecting that much, even though I really like Southern Charm. But this exceeded my expectations. I think you guys are gonna love it. The dynamics are there. This is what happens when people really know each other and they build most of the show around people that know each other for years and years. You get really good content out of it. And I think Southern Charm is a great example of that. So the Bravo union is strong. Now, I am fixated on ratings. Like, that's just what I fixate on. We have the ratings for last night. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, episode 1. It got a 0.796 million viewers. It got a 0.20 in the demo. That's an 18 to 49 demo. That's the key demo that advertisers want to advertise to. Now, if you are over the age of 49, they say you don't exist, but I say you do, and we will be advertised to. But 0.20 is good in the demo, but this is a series low for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. A series low, which means this is the lowest that a season premiere of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has ever had. Now, this is what I'm imploring Peacock to do. Peacock and most streaming services never reveal streaming data. Sometimes Netflix will throw you a bone and go, oh, this many million viewers or this many did this because, like they want to brag about the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Peacock has not done that. They'll do their top 10, which you can flip through on the app. But I feel like the thing that I like to lie to myself about is the Peacock streaming numbers are really strong, and it makes up for that imbalance because, 3 years ago, you'd look at a Beverly Hills premiere with like a 1.1 million instead of a 0.796. But there's always room to go up in those same day viewings, but I just wanted to let you know. But I will say that's a stronger number than Beverly Hills, Potomac, New York, all of the shows on right now. That is the strongest number. I just wish it had been a little stronger, but it's not going to rain on our parade. No. No, as Heather Dubrow would say. How are you guys? I've just been talking for 18 minutes. Did I ask how you were? I've been just going. Beverly Hills is on the dome right now. I hope you're doing good. Thanksgiving's next week. It's Thursday right now. It's time to party and to let your hair down, or just to rip your hair extensions out like one Miss Kathy Hilton. Okay, so also one last piece of Bravo news. There's always a new piece of Bravo news. We got the announcement today that Southern Hospitality Season 3 will be premiering January 2nd. Now, I knew this a couple weeks ago when I went to Sophie's wedding and I hung out with a couple of the Southern Hospitality cast members, and they told me this, but I wasn't allowed to say anything. But now it's out January 2nd, starting the year strong. And from everything I've heard about this season, it's really going to be insane. Season 2 was already showing some real promising signs. So I think season 3 is going to be great. But we'll see. I'm excited for it. Okay. Gosh, I'm excited to get going. Do we just do it? Do we just hop right in? Oh God, now I've lost my notes. Okay, you guys talk amongst yourselves while I try to find these notes. Okay, here we go. We can do it. We can do it. Here we go. November 19th, 2024. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 14, Episode 1. Now, this episode is called... I was going and I was like, what do I think this episode would be called? And I predicted, like, The Gloves Are Off. And this one is called Grace Time is Over. That's right, Kyle. No more grace for you. Grace is over, bitch. Proof, biatch. And we start off, the description that the cable company gives us is Erica reinvests her home and herself. With what money? Sorry. So she reinvests her home and herself. Or maybe that's meant to be reinvents her home and herself. Garcel takes on new roles. Kyle navigates life post-separation. Dorit and PK are separating. The women wear their bizarre dresses to Sutton's Surrealist ball. Wow, the cable description got a little nasty at the end. The women wear their bizarre dresses. Like, okay, tell us how you really feel, show description. Wow, that was a little snarky of the show. I mean, that's a very, the women wear their stupid dresses to Sutton's stupid ball. Now we start off this episode with the whole trailer for this season. Now we already did a whole hour-long recap of that opening trailer. So go back a couple weeks ago if you want to listen to me scream about that trailer. For it, I took a 2-minute trailer and I did like an hour on it. So guys, prepare yourselves for an 8-hour recap right now. The best thing starting this episode is there's a song. I love my life. Yeah, I love my life. Which is such a beautiful, perfect song because it is such a song of strength. I mean, Katy Perry wishes she could come up with a song called I Love My Life. But what's so great is the insidiousness again, right? Like, do you really think Dorit is loving her life right now? Is Kyle loving her life? Has Erica loved her life? So it's almost like this shiny facade, which is really what Beverly Hills, and I don't mean Real Housewives, but Beverly Hills in general is about. It's about facades, right? So if you look deeper into that opening song, which is interspersed through the entire opening segment, seeing all of the ladies, it means something different, right? So we, of course, do our fly through of beautiful downtown Beverly Hills, and it's a little bit of a bop. It's not Raise Your Glass Vanderpump Rules bop, but it's not bad. It's like a subtle bop. It's like a little synth music in the beginning. And it's like ding, 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 ding. Look around, I'm happy now. I figured out. Don't need no fake house. Don't have a doubt. I scream and shout. I finally found. I love my life. I'm hooked on this feeling. I love my life. So picture that screeching voice that I just did through the entire opening segment, and we swirl around all the ladies. We do the round robin that we usually do in these shows, and we go into Dorit's house. That's our first swirling down, and we find her in the backyard by the pool with her dog, perusing her Vogue magazine, which I did my research. That's a fashion magazine, you guys, Vogue. And Dorit's talking to her dog because PK is gone. It's like, hi, you, come here. Why are you so precious? Beep, boop, 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 boop. And then the song's still playing. I love my life. Every day is a weekend. I love my life. And then, you guys, we pop inside a studio, and Erica Jane, she's doing a photo and video shoot, swirling and posing and flipping and twirling the extensions. Her hair's in slow-mo, unless that's really how her hair moves. And we hear Mikey, well, we see Mikey's blowing steam into the shot. Mikey's the choreographer, but also he's the head steam man. You know, he gets the steam going. And, you know, Mikey's like, yes, queen, hot. Yes, girl, give it. But once again, all I do now when I see scenes with Erica, I just start like tabulating money. I'm like, how much, who's paying for this? What are we doing? Why are we doing this? What is this for? Is an album? Are you dropping an album? What are we doing? Can we afford this? Are we still living in the pool house? What are we doing? And then we go over to Kyle. And of course, Kyle is still training like Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2, still working out in that home gym. She's in slow-mo as well. Sometimes I feel like Kyle's never left that room. Even when she's in scenes with the ladies, you can tell in her mind she's in there working on her trapezius muscles, you know? I love my life. Hey, 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 hey. And then we go over to Garcel's house. Now, Garcel's house, remember, it's somewhere, it looks like it like borders a power plant or something. It looks like she's like borders some hill. And Garcel to her dog's like, okay, we got to pack. I got to go to Atlanta. I'm a busy woman. I'm in the movie business. She packs all of her Chanel things and it's like, ooh, Chanel, my Chanel earrings. I love, love, love. And then we go over to Miss Sutton Strack. She's in her convertible. She's driving over to Bel Air. She toots her horn as she drives by a house that she recognizes. It's Kathy Hilton's house. And she's like, well, I'll say, hey, Kathy, a honk, honk, honk. Nobody's listening. And she's like, ha, 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 ha. I love my life. I love my life. And then we see Sutton out of her car walking up to a house and knocks. And it's the one and only Jennifer Tilly, Oscar nominated actor Jennifer Tilly. If you've never seen the movie Bullets Over Broadway, it's one of my favorite films. She is excellent in it. John Cusack, Chaz Palminteri. She's so funny in this movie. Of course, she also does Bride of Chucky and the Chucky Show, which I think has been canceled now. But Jennifer Tilly opens the door and she's like, Sutton, hi. And Sutton's like, well, that was a big welcome from little Miss Sutton. And Jennifer's like, I know, so happy to see you. I'm happy to see her on the show. She always said she wouldn't do this show. I remember I was at BravoCon last year and we were at the pre-party that Jeff Lewis was throwing, and I got to talk to Sutton with Ronnie Karam from Watch What Crappens. And we went over and talked to her, and she seemed a little, like maybe she had a couple, like she seemed a little buzzed, but we were talking about, I remember I brought up her horse, Santa. Well, how's Santos doing? But she was saying that Jennifer Tilly decided she would not come on the show really because everybody was kind of too mean. So I love that Jennifer Tilly reversed course and realizes she should be there. Let's see how much she regrets that decision. So we've all got to be kind of nice to her in the beginning, folks. We do, because I think she is a valuable addition, hopefully. So Sutton in a talking head is like, well, Jennifer Tilly, she's over the top. I could not have seen her for 5 minutes, and she's going to be like, Sutton! I'll say. Back in the scene, Jennifer's like, you'll be so happy. I bought all kinds of snacks at the Bel Air Hotel. I have your favorite grapefruit juice, so yeah, come on in. Do you want some grapefruit juice and vodka? And Sutton's like, well, absolutely. And then I was like, oh, shit, now I'm getting more of their relationship. We're like a little day drinkers, It's not just the grapefruit juice. What about a little vodka, right? The camera pans around Jennifer's home, honing in all kinds of arts and statues and all this stuff. And Jennifer's like, here's the really, really ancient vodka, like about 9 years ago. But vodka never gets old, does it? It's like wine. It gets better when it's older, right? Sutton in a talking head's like, well, Jennifer Tilly is one of my best friends. Jennifer's pouring the vodka, and Sutton to Jennifer's like, keep going. I'm going to say when. No, keep going. I want it to the tippy top. Keep going. I'll say. In her talking head, we see a montage of photos of the ladies, and she's like, we're lunch buddies, we're travel buddies, we're just a pick up the phone and talk buddies. And all of a sudden, we're just laughing, me and Jennifer Tilly. I love her. In the scene, Jennifer's like, I love your ring. He's got in his mouth a pearl, and then you have pearls on your wrist, so it's like he ate a pearl. This is what wealthy people talk about the little things that are on their jewelry and their clothes. I'm always just like, yeah, that it says Old Navy. Yeah, it's the Old Navy logo. She's tapping Sutton's bracelet and ring, and we see there it's a Cartier Panther ring that retails at $17,400. Just a little old Cartier, this old thing, just a little old Cartier ring. And God, this is. Could you just ever, maybe there's a couple people listening that could afford this stuff or have this stuff, but it truly blows me away when they put the price tags on these things. Just the purses and the jewels and the clothes. And I just don't know how rich I would have to be to not feel guilty about buying. I feel guilty when I go and shop at the Gap. You know what I'm saying? I feel guilty. I've started shopping on TikTok Shop. That's where we're at in life. I'm like, wow, those drawstring sweatpants look really nice. I wonder if they have my size. I was saying Panther, but it's Pantier. Oh, this is part of the Pantier collection. Not panther like poor old Ryan Bailey can't rub two sticks together, I say. He doesn't even know how to say patier. He's saying old panther like some stupid idiot, some dummy. So they're admiring all of Sutton's jewelries from all of her travels, right? And Jennifer's like, oh, you mean panther? And Sutton rolls her eyes and retorts in French, Je parle français, which says, I speak French. Okay, so you're all set to have a cool girl summer. Sutton again rolls her eyes. Well, no, I'm going to have a cool girl summer. Yeah, I say. So you have Porter graduated from college? Yeah, Porter's going to go to law school, my son. I mean, praise Jesus. Law school, I love that. And then she's going to be home for the summer? Well, I'm going to have them all for a couple weeks. And we see a few pics of Sutton and her kids. And Jennifer's like, well, you really raised them right. I don't think your kids are going to be partying it up, stealing your credit cards, buying drugs. They're like kids from the 1950s. And so it's like, well, that give me a good old chuckle. That's a separate laugh. And then Jennifer Tilly goes, ha 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 ha. So they individually took turns to laugh. That's how tight of friends they are. Sutton's like, well, so Jennifer, let's get down to brass tacks. I was thinking I had a really nice time in Spain last season, and I was thinking about Mus Cunningham, my ballet instructor. Where I took the ashes, and we flash back to a drunk Erica at that hacienda in Spain, and Erica's like, Mus is in the past. And Sutton didn't find it funny at the time. And Sutton's like, well, listen, I just thought it would be kind of cool because everybody knows about Salvador Dali. Dali was one of the central figures of the movement of Surrealism. So let me bring all these ladies back to Spain, in a sense, and the trip that we had together and what it meant to me in a surrealist way, And Jennifer's like, it's such a good idea. I mean, you don't have a lot of people having surrealist balls these days. You really don't. Also, what they could have just done is all dropped acid together, or like ayahuasca. Like at the beginning of last year's season, you had what was the lady? It was like Proud Little Feather or something, leading the ladies at a spiritual retreat where they all got along. And now we're doing surrealist balls. Surrealist. Anyway, Sutton and I talking to his head, like, well, some of my friends understand art. And we flash back to a day earlier where Sutton's by her pool on the phone talking to Dorit. And she's like, well, of all of us, I know you know surrealism, Dorit. Which is kind of like, well, since you date PK and hang out with that boy George, I bet you know surrealism. And Dorit's like, this is probably the best themed party I have heard of, Sutton. Sutton continues in a talking head, and then there was Kyle, and we flash back to a day earlier. Sutton's talking to Kyle in person by her pool, and Sutton's like, well, he's an artist. Dali. He's an artist, Kyle. And Kyle was like, I was picturing Dolly, D-O-L-L-Y, not Dali. Get it? I'm into country music. Hey, Morgan. Wink. Sutton to Jennifer in this scene, says, well, Kyle's been going through a lot, Jennifer, and I gotta say, in all honesty, I didn't think I was the greatest of friends during this past year to her. We flash back to Kyle's dinner party last season where Sutton's like, well, Kyle, is there something going on in your personal life that you'd like to share? And Anna Marie Wiley, the one and done housewife, the esophagus lady, was like, with what though? Like what? And Garcel's like, her marriage. And Erica's like, really? And Kyle's like, we've had a hard time. Is that not enough for you guys? And Sutton's like, well, sure. Sutton to Jennifer in this scene is like, well, I wasn't the friend that I normally am. So after a few months passed, we did go to dinner. And at first we were a bit, how are we supposed to do this? 10 minutes later, it really softened. Which that probably is like the 10 minutes it took for Sutton to have a little vodka. Well, all of a sudden I felt all warm inside my tummy and we had a really good talk. But Jennifer's like, that's great. And Sutton's like, well, I think we both cried at some point. I love it's like, I think. Well, I don't know. The night got kind of fuzzy, but I felt wetness around my eye area. I think we cried. Sutton and the talking head's like, well, I need to reach out to Kyle because, well, one, I missed her, And then I started to see things when I was online shopping that I knew she'd like. And I miss sending it to her. And I miss knowing how she was. I say. I love that Sutton realized when she was potentially drunkenly scrolling on Amazon like we all do. But there's like probably a rich version of Amazon for rich people. But I love that she's like, I used to send Kyle links, to fund like ointments and lotions and potions. And I would always say, I said, look, here's a Snuggie. You like Tickle Me Elmo? Well, here it is. I'm going to send it to Kyle. So I love that was what potentially brought Sutton around to Kyle again. So Sutton tells Jennifer, well, all is right in the world with me and Kyle. And Jennifer's like, that's great, right? New scene, we're at the Pacific Design Center, which is a giant building on Melrose. Like Melrose and not Melrose and La Cienega, Melrose and, I don't know, it's a fucking street. It's close to Sur actually, but it's a really fancy building and all of these really fancy furniture stores are in there. Like it's really expensive. But then like Dear Media, they have their podcast offices in there. I think the offices for like Tinder are in there. I mean, it's an expensive place to have a business in, right? And we see Erica stepping in, all legs, va 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 voom. Mikey's like, hey girl, show those gams. And she's out of her driven car to go inside. Once again, slow-mo. The use of slow-mo in this episode will be studied one day. I was like, whoa, slow-mo again? Erica enters the store and, this store called Mogul. And the employee's like, hi there, welcome to Mogul. I'm Erica. Wouldn't that be great when somebody says hi to you? You're like, I'm Erica. Hi, that's me. I'm Erica. And the director of marketing is like, well, I'm Maria. Thank you so much for being here. Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm redecorating. So I wanted to come by and get some ideas and just see what was available. Wow, this is fabulous. This is beautiful. Wow. We look at a price tag of $6,700 on a Murano box. And Maria's like, oh, I think you need these. And Erica goes, I think I need 2 of them. But you know what I'm saying? Really? We just spent $13.4 thousand? Like you need 2 Murano I swear to God, do any of we saw Erica Jane shopping at like Ross and TJ, she's a Maxinista, and now all of a sudden you have a decent season of Housewives and now you're buying you're dropping 13.4 on 2 little things? Are you fucking crazy? Have we learned nothing from the experience? Are we really just supposed to forget about can we be a little budget conscious? My God. We see another car arrive and it's Dorit emerging, another slow-mo. I'm Dorit going slow-mo. Erica's like, I hear heels. Oh, Dorit, you look so good. My girl, Erica. Look at you. Look at you. How are you? Wow, it is so nice to see you. And they both hug each other. These scenes really go to show you what I've always said, is that in some Housewives shows, they're not friends more as they're coworkers that have gone through a really bad year of working. They're coworkers that have gone through a battle in some way. But it's so hard, because you just feel like, wow, this feels like the first time Erica's potentially seen Dorit in 3 months. Look at you. And Dorit's like, look at you. You just dropped $13,000. Jesus Christ. So they're doing their little pleasantries and we got to catch up. And Dorit's like, and you're looking for furniture? What's going on? Even Dorit's alarmed. Fuck, are you sure? Erica's like, well, look, the house is tiny. And, when I moved in, there's really just a living room and a bedroom. And then your closet. Yeah, the 2 other bedrooms, those are closets. Erica in a talking head with pink hair extensions is like, I spent 20 plus years in what some people would refer to as a mansion. Am I out of my mind? Didn't we all refer to it as is there a world where that wasn't a mansion in Pasadena? Like, is that a condo? Does it like Sutton's like, well, that's a goddamn condo. I'm gonna put my Panthiel rings on. Jesus. We have a flashback to 2015 where, the infamous tour of the Girardi house where Erica's showing a friend, well, I know you go to church, so welcome to my chapel. Fun, right? A fun chapel. I'm spiritual. Here's my fun chapel. Erica continues, see, when I left Pasadena, I took what would fit in the house. Remember that? Remember when, the story was that Tom went to work, allegedly? She drove Tom to work, if my memory serves. Drove Tom to work, came back. Tom allegedly didn't know she was moving out, had a moving truck, and, just immediately started putting things in it and, left for this place that she lives now. And I still am so how, because there's cameras in there. Tom had a staff of people. Nobody called Tom and was like, hey, Tom, your wife who just allegedly dropped you off at work? She's taking things in a moving van. And Tom's like, did I ever tell you about when I met John Wayne? Can I tell you? Tom, I'm telling you, she's robbing us right now. She took most of the things in the chapel. We have a flashback to 2020, and Mikey's like, I think if we took a walk across the hallway, and this is in her, new place, and Mikey sees the small size for the first time, he's like, oh, wow. Even Mikey's like, oh, shit, I'm not getting paid this season. Erica continues in a talking head, what did I leave behind? Well, you can go on auction and find that. Because a lot of Tom Girardi's items, not there were separate auctions. There was his house auction, but then there was his law firm auction. So a lot was left behind, and hopefully it got to their rightful, hopefully that money got to the rightful owners, which are the victims. So we're back at the Pacific Design Center, and Erica's like, it's time to, I think, let go of the past, let go of the furniture. Sure, yeah, let go of the furniture. I feel like it's probably pretty nice furniture, but yeah, do whatever you need to do. We have a flashback to one day earlier during a session with Erica's therapist. Now, this is Dr. Jen Mann. We've seen her on the show before. And I remember one of my old bosses went to Dr. Jen Mann. She is fucking expensive. This lady is an expensive therapist. So already I'm like, you bought the 2 Murano boxes, the therapy, which is $1,000 an hour, my marron, as an Italian American would say. In this scene with Dr. Jen Mann, Erica's like, with Tom's trial coming up, I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to turn the page. And part of that symbolically is getting new furniture. And the doctor's like, well, these are connected to Tom and your history and your marriage. I felt like Dr. Jen Mann was like, could I have them? I mean, you'd still pay me full price for this, but I would love to get my hands on that love seat of any kind. Also, it kind of sounds like Erica might be just completely skipping town. It's just like, well, I'm off to where they don't have an extradition policy. Yeah. Anyways, when Erica says, when she looks at the furniture, she says she wouldn't be truthful if she said it didn't take her there. It took her back to that place. Listen, I'm joking around, but there is an element of truth to that, right? There are possessions, you think about a different life, a different time, a time that at once made you happy, but now makes you sad. So it is within the realm of possibility that Erica truly does feel this, but also I just feel like we don't need to do this at the Pacific Design Center. Okay, so we have that little Dr. Mann scene, and then we're back at the Pacific Design Center, and Erica's like, redoing the living room is a real step in the right direction, so I brought you here today as my style friend. And Dorit's like, oh, I love it! So just sort of look around and see what the possibilities are. I love it! I'm so all for it! Dorit, like a girl boner, being told that she has style. She's like, I feel so proud and so privileged. Ooh, look at these here. And they show these black crystal votives for like $1,055. Like, God, can we chill out? I mean, I guess this is luxury. I mean, I love being swept away in luxury too, but I also then just realized the money. I mean, listen, the PK and Dorit's house, they haven't paid the last 4 months. It's in foreclosure. Dorit moves to the next item and she makes these like monkey noises like, ee, 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 ee. And Erica's like,
You can sit down, but I can't. I'm not about to ruin the showroom with my leg makeup on.
Mikey Minden's been smothering leg makeup on Erica all morning. And then Dorit sits and she's like, well, I have some news. And Erica's like ready for a big acting moment because I feel like we all know, they all knew that PK and Dorit had been separated for a while. And Erica's like,
what? What's your news?
Well, I've got lots of news. Where do I begin? First off, I'm a smoker. Erica's like,
okay, well, let me sit on something that I don't get makeup on.
Well, do you want the good news or the bad news?
You've got bad news?
So they find a wood bench for Erica to sit on, and Erica's like,
I won't ruin anything, I promise.
Dorit sits,
Okay, the bad news first.
The bad news, well, PK and I have agreed to separate. And Erica, stunned. It's like, oh my God, the acting, like, and Dorit's like shaking her head up and down, like, yes, take it in, yes, let it wash over you, yes. And Erica's like,
okay, I'm gonna cry.
I know. And they hug each other, and Erica's like,
I don't want this for you.
I know, baby, I know. Dorit talking heads like, it's ironic that I'm confiding in Erica after what she said at BravoCon. And we flash back to the BravoCon Watch What Happens Live thing. Or was it Watch What? Yeah. And I was there. I was literally there watching this moment happen. It's on my Instagram from years ago where Andy reads a question. What Bravo celebrity relationship do you think is headed to Splitsville next? And Erica's in her like denim little outfit with her little like ponytails on both sides of her head. And Erica just stands up in the middle of the stage and she's like,
I think it's Dorit and PK.
And Andy's like, Zoinks! Dorit and the talking head's like, I don't think she saw something that I didn't see. I think she knew there was trouble in paradise. She had a shady question. She answered it with a shady answer. Yeah, I think Erica was just doing a soundbite thing. Anyways, Dorit in this scene is like, it's sad and it's hard, just like PK after a bender. It's also no secret we've had a really rough couple of years.
Yeah,
we've had a rough couple of years, and even before that, just like with most married couples, you have your issues. We flash back to Dorit and PK's Pretty Woman anniversary dinner in 2023. Remember that scene? Where he rented the jewels in the car and the hotel room, and Dorit was still suffering from putsta of PTSD, so she was worried about the kids. And Dorit's like, you think that this just happens, PK? It's her whole look. And PK's like, to be honest with you, I think maybe I'm not gonna bother with surprises anymore. Except the one when I don't want to get back to it with you after the separation. Remember that? Then Berlin, the band Berlin, sang Take My Breath Away, which is from the Top Gun soundtrack, and it didn't have anything to do with the Pretty Woman soundtrack. These are the things that percolate in my mind. Now we're a flashback to a conversation the same year during their couples therapy, and Dorit's like, I'm a totally new person, and I can't do anything about it. And PK's like, there are those elements that I don't consider are putsta, PTSD. I consider they're more obnoxious. Back in the Pacific Design Center, Dorit's like, do you know what I mean, Erica?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do.
We deal with them differently. PK was pouring alcohol on it. It got very, 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 very toxic. Dorit and a PK goes, PK's always been a drinker, but over the years it's gotten progressively worse, and little fights would turn into blow-ups. We would be in a gutter after a fight, screaming at one another. I don't want that toxic energy around small children. Dorit, to Erica says, I said, PK, I can't have a conversation with you. And I said, you gotta dry out. 1 week, and a week turned into a journey. She almost makes it sound like the movie Wicked. You're about to go on a journey over the next year, and we're inundated with the magic of Wicked. At the reunion 4 months earlier, we flash back and Andy's like, after the season ended, Dorit, headlines erupted claiming you two were on the brink of divorce, that you are leading separate lives. Tell me now, how are the two of you doing? And Dorit smiles, Better than ever, Andy. And all the ladies around the couch are kind of like looking at each other with like these snickering kind of faces, like they don't believe it. Now back in the scene, Erica's like,
So can I ask what happened between then and now?
good question. It's not one thing, it's not a catastrophic event. No one cheated on anyone, I swear, a week ago. There was a moment and it was over nothing. And one thing led to another. And we sat down like two very mature adults who love and care about one another and mutually decided that taking some space and separating is the best thing for us.
Is it like a temporary separation, or we're just talking a day by day?
We are taking it day by day, but we are separating.
Okay.
So there's no time on it, but there's work to do. Work must be done. Like Beverly Beach. Now, in interviews, and even on Watch What Happens Live last night with Dorit was on with Lala, Dorit was saying that they have no plans to divorce. They are living separately. The kids don't know yet, even though the kids do go over to... It seems very confusing. And I know this has got to be very rough on little Jagaloo and Phoenix and you do, I mean, that's just a tough situation. And I do wonder how long you can keep up that ruse and, why, if I just couldn't tell if they're separating with the hopes of getting back together or separating and we're just going to divorce when it's, I don't know. You know what? It's a little weird, right? Eric in a talking head goes,
well, don't take any advice from me, because I did just about everything wrong after announcing that I filed for divorce.
And we flash back to the iconic 2020 Kathy Hilton Christmas dinner where Erica was seething at Sutton. Remember that?
You have a lot of fucking nerve.
Well, don't talk to me like that. On what? Seriously, Erica?
On what?
On nothing.
Right, exactly. Shut the fuck up.
Erica continues in a talking head.
I think Dorita's going to go through the same thing that we all go through in a separation, which is 1 second of relief, and then everything after that was just pressure.
Listen, we're having fun here, right? Do you think there's ever a world in which Erica hooks up with PK, which would be so bizarre for so many reasons? But also remember Pantygate back in was it PK's first season with Erica and like you got any panties on, Erica? Remember that whole thing? Anyways, Dorit goes, "You're the first one I've told." And Erica's like,
okay, I'm going to tell you this.
No, sorry.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to see Kyle after this. What do you want me to do? Because I'm not going to betray your trust. And I know you guys have a lot of things to work out.
That means a lot. I would rather you didn't. So Erica has been bestowed the first housewife to be told about this. She does not want Erica to tell Kyle, though. So will Erica betray Dorit's trust? Dorit in the talking head's like, Kyle is the one person in this group that I've shared the most about my issues with PK. We flash back to dinner in 2023 and Dorit to Kyle saying, I've started to feel like PK and I weren't connected. Is it possible that PK and I would not make it? And you just tell Kyle's off in space somewhere thinking about Morgan. Dorit continues in the talking head, right now Kyle and I are not in a good place. So of course, she's not one of the first people I would call when something big like this is happening to me. Beep boop 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 boop. I will not share my separation spotlight with Kyle Richards. Dorit in the scene goes, thank you.
Of course.
And also for the support, because Erica, at the end of the day, that's what I know I need.
'Cause it's gonna get ugly, girl. I'm so sorry, babe.
And she hugs Dorit. Erica slow-mo's it out of the Pacific Design Center. I'm going slow. Heads to her car, heads over to Kyle. Meanwhile, at Kyle's house, she and her daughter are moving furniture. Hey, where's Mauricio when you need him, right? Kyle's like, let me see if I can lift this. Hey, you're walking faster. It's just so weird to watch these girls. We've watched these girls grow up, Portia, and all. Anyways, they're moving to, I don't know, it's a little comedy scene. Kyle in a talking head goes, what has changed in my life since last year? Oh my gosh, so much. Mao moved out a week or two ago. Alexia also moved out. This is just too much. Having both of them move out. Back-to-back was very difficult, to say the least. I wish I had a country musician to come and take... No. Anyways, Kyle is like, Erica's coming over to visit Portia. And Portia doesn't seem like she cares. In a talking head, Kyle's like, Mao was living in the house with all women. Whenever something needed to be done, he was the only guy. I don't know how to turn on the TV properly. She holds up a remote in the scene going, how do you work these newfangled remotes? I don't know how to get on the music. How do you get on the newfangled music? The pool heater, the pool light, and I don't do rain gutters and stuff. I didn't even know what one was until a week ago. Kyle, do we really believe that Mao is doing the rain gutters? The dude literally sells houses. You got a rain gutter man. You truly have a rain gutter man. The producer asks, what's a rain gutter, Kyle? Collects leaves? I don't know. Anyways, Erica Cars pulls up in the driveway. Kyle in a talking head goes, sometimes when Sophia's out and it's just Portia and me, it's really quiet. And I realize it's going to be like that a lot. This is not what I expected my life to be. Hold, please. And she picks up a tissue to start dabbing the tears that are coming out of her eyes. So we ended last season with a Kyle talking head where she was crying and just happy to be done with the season. And we're already in the first talking head and she's already dabbing tears, right? Erica's at the door and Eric's like, there's my girl. And Kyle's like, oh, look at you, ray of sunshine. What can I get you? Can I have a Coke? Yeah, can you believe I haven't had Coke since... Wait, you cut that out too? Yeah, when I gave up alcohol, I gave up sodas and, all that. How dare you, Kyle? Turning your back on alcohol is one thing, but to turn your back on Diet Coke, that is a sin. Ugh. Anyways, Erica's like, so, I was just at the Pacific Design Center, met Miss Dorit over there. My ears are numb. She talks so much. Kyle's like, it's a shame that it's gone this long with Dorit and me because I don't have it in me to deal with because I have so many things on my plate, right? Which is what I was kind of trying to say to her in the text that she read. Because remember, that was a big deal last season was the text that Dorit read or revealed at the reunion where Kyle was trying to reason with her and let's be buddies and all this stuff. And Dorit blasted that text and Kyle took that as a huge assault on their friendship, right? Kyle in a talking head goes, that last time that I saw Dorit was the last time that we all got together. It reminds us of that scene from a couple seasons ago. We were all so happy that day, which they weren't. Flashback to the 2023 reunion where Kyle's like, how many times have we ever had lunch without filming, Dorit? Well, you and I over the last 7 years, in particular, the last 2 years. I can count them on one hand. We don't have that kind of friendship. This is really interesting too. What kind of friendship did they have? Because we saw them. They went on vacation together. Are you telling me it was mainly driven by PK and Mauricio's friendship? At one time, these ladies were very, very close. And I think over the last 2.5 years, that relationship petered out because I think Kyle and Mauricio was going through changes. And then Kyle was going through those changes. And she knew that Dorit was not the friend that she could lean on. I don't think she leaned on really any of the housewives. And I think Dorit took that as a personal affront. But Kyle saying that at that reunion is kind of offensive. Yeah, you might not have gotten together, but that's the whole point. Dorit felt like you shunned her as a friend, right? But I will say through all of this, I still don't think you're going to be able to make Kyle out to be a villain this season, no matter how hard you try. I think Kyle's truly going through her own shit, which is very real. So when somebody's going through their own shit, it's hard to make them a villain because she's still feeling the reverberations of the huge life changes she's going through, right? Kyle in the talking head goes, I did not know at that point that she had read my private text message. Flashback to reunion today, Dorit to Erica going, I haven't heard from her in a couple months. She sends me a text yesterday basically trying to silence me. The text or the essence of it says, I don't want to lose someone else in my life over a TV show. They don't even know we are going through a hard time, so I don't see the need to bring it up there. That was Kyle texting Dorit. Dorit before the reunion telling Erica, it was so manipulative, so calculated. I like the Dorit's like, cunning Kyle. Ooh, the puppet master. Kyle in a talking head's like, after she read my text, I was completely shocked. She tried to publicly embarrass me. I don't know what her idea of a good friend is, but my good friends have never done something like this. Ever. Is that true? I feel like these ladies have all done horrible things to each other. I don't know. Anyways, Erica in the scene to Kyle goes,
well, this starts back in the reunion with Kathy. This all started then.
We flash back to the 2022 reunion where Kathy's like, Kyle, you're acting like a martyr, like it's just you. And Dorit's like, she wants you to accept a little bit of responsibility in this, Kyle, I think. And Kyle's like, can I talk to my sister? I don't want you to interject right now. And Dorit's like, no problem. Got it. Erica in this scene goes,
she did not understand that you were upset by that.
Production does one of those quick rewinds to Erica at the Pacific Design Center where Dorit's like, there has been something going on with Kyle and I for a good year and a half.
Do you think that she was punishing you because you didn't take up for her in the moment with the Kathy thing?
I think that she isolated me. Dorit in a talking head goes, my issue with Kyle is that our friendship feels very unbalanced. If I put one foot wrong, she won't speak to me for months, but she can say and do whatever she wants, and I have to be okay with that. I have to be okay with that. I mean, Dorit is right in this moment. She is, right? I mean, Kyle does hold all the cards, but I don't think Kyle, I think Kyle recognized, but I don't think Kyle thinks of it that way, right? That's why there's a lot of gray in this. But I think Dorit nailed, succinctly. I love when you say succinctly and Dorit. You're like, she managed to get this into a couple of sentences, but she's kind of right. Dorit back at the Pacific Design Center is like, what she did, Erica, to punish me was she went public and said that I exaggerated our friendship. And Erica's like,
on the Amazon Live.
We flash back to Kyle on Amazon Live, and Kyle's like, we only took one trip together as a couple that I can recall. Mao, PK, Dorit, and me. It was just, to put it bluntly, just an exaggeration. Completely. Listen, I'm talking to you on this, Jeff Bezos. How dare you with these Amazon Lives? I mean, these Amazon Lives causes so much trouble in the Housewives and Vanderpump Rules universe. I don't even know are they actually even selling shit on there? Or is it just a place for people to get other housewives and Bravo celebrities angry with each other? I'm looking directly at you, Jeff Bezos, in the one good eye. I am looking directly at you. Dorit of the Pacific Design Center is like, anybody that knows us will say, wow, geez, you guys did seem like good friends.
You guys were definitely closer than I was to either one of you. Your families were closer. Your husbands are friends.
You've made me reevaluate not only who you are, but really what kind of friendship we have. We speed back to Kyle's house, and Kyle's like, what I did was only in response to the way I was treated. It started with the reunion with Kathy. Here is what really sealed the deal with me at BravoCon. Now, BravoCon, I'm looking at you, Andy Cohen. I mean, between Jeff Bezos and Andy Cohen, and podcasts, you've got every storyline for Housewives over the last 3 years. We go to Andy reading another question at BravoCon 2023. Dorit, rank the Richard sisters from most favorite to least. And Dorit is like, from most favorite to least, Kathy, Kim, and Kyle. Dorit goes to drink the shot in order to not answer the question, but Kyle, sitting next to Dorit, smacks Dorit's arm so the shot spills all over and goes, hello! And after a moment, Dorit jokingly goes, well, Kyle's definitely last. Kathy's definitely first. The audience laughs. Kyle cracks up. But we are thinking that really pissed Kyle off. Like, how dare you at BravoCon do that? Anyways, Dorit, flashing back to the Pacific Design Center 4 hours earlier, goes, you know what? Fuck off! And Erica's like,
you're pissed.
I am pissed. I'm pissed. It's me, the new angry Dorit. Fuck it. I'll burn it all down. Hand me the matches. I'm going to set fucking fire to the Pacific Design Center on Kyle. This is the name of Kyle Richards. Fuck you, Kyle Richards. I'll get you, my pretty. That was sponsored by Wicked, you guys. Completely sponsored by. We go back to Kyle, who is speaking to Erica about this clip that we just saw and are taking way too serious. And Kyle's like, the obvious answer would have been me. The logical answer would obviously be Kyle.
You were embarrassed.
I was hurt. I was embarrassed. That's really a shitty friend. Dude, you were on a BravoCon panel. People are trying to make each other laugh. Dorit back at the... God, could we just have fucking had this conversation at the Pacific Design Center? Do we have to keep flashing back and forward? Anyways, Dorit's like, you know... Sorry. I'm pissed. Erica at Kyle's house is like,
I know you have a 6-year friendship. I think she's just mad. You guys have got to talk.
Erica in a talking head goes,
Amazon Live, watch what happens live. BravoCon, I can say it's small. She can say it's nothing, but to them it's big.
Dorit to Erica's like, the Kyle that I knew, she's not someone I recognized. It's the biceps. She's all cut up. She looks like a young Arnold Schwarzenegger. Kyle to Erica goes, well, I do feel she's changed. Erica in a talking head goes,
Kyle and Dorit have a lot to work out, and it's a long time coming.
It is kind of a long time coming. And I feel like Dorit has gone over this every night in her head for like 5 years, and Kyle rarely thinks about it at all, except when she has to film about it, which kind of shows where Dorit is coming from, right? Kyle to Erica goes, if she starts talking and she talks, and doesn't listen, that is when I lose it. Erica to Dorit of the Pacific Design Center goes,
I think there's a lot of miscommunication here.
Well, I think that she needs to shut the fuck up. No, I think that there's a lot more manipulative than there's miscommunication. And I think she's more of a master manipulator than I ever realized. I mean, listen, most people are angry with the husband that they're separating from, but it seems like Dorit's main issue is Kyle. Dorit says this, and they show Kyle back at her house with Erica, and there's a slow-mo smiling smugly and stroking her hair like an evil master manipulator, like the ghost of Rinna. Yeah, I have consumed the body of Kyle. Next scene, we're at Garcel. She's in a hotel room with a computer, a lot of busy work. You know, like she's got to work. I'm on a computer working on films. Her son, Oliver, who works at Vanderpump Paris, he is there. Garcel in a talking head goes, I've been in Atlanta for a little less than a month, and I'm working on 2 productions. One is Abducted at an HBCU, a Black Girl Missing movie, which is our 2nd movie in the franchise. I'm an executive producer. I am calling the shots. We have a flashback to, talking about movie stuff. And then one of them's a romance movie, you guys, called Tempted by Love, which is, she's an executive producer, but she's also starring in, and it's a romance, which normally somebody gets killed in, but no one's killed in this movie. But there might be some sexy erotic scenes with Miss Garcel Bouvet. And Garcel tells her son, it's crazy in this one because I'm a cougar. And Oliver laughs like, oh, God. Well, let me tell you, he is so fine. I shouldn't be saying this to you, but it's crazy. Yeah, I shouldn't be saying this to my son about your mom getting bopped on camera on Lifetime. Oliver goes, it's amazing, Mom. The fact that you've been doing 24-hour days, your eyes are still open and you're smiling. It's crazy. Time flies. And Garcel's like, I know. So how's OJ? And I was like, OJ Simpson? I was like, oh, Garcel, sit down. OJ is dead. But it turns out Oliver's son is named OJ. But I got worried for a second. I was like, holy shit, the first episode took a dark turn. I thought Garcel was about to say, OJ Simpson and I used to be lovers. Anyways, OJ's doing great. The son OJ's doing great. He's going to be starting kindergarten. Garcel in a talking head goes, when I had Oliver as a young model, he would travel all over the place with me. He grew up on the set of a Jamie Foxx show, even had a role on the show. So him wanting to come to Atlanta to visit the sets means everything to me. Oliver says he brought his girlfriend. Her name's Shantae. She's going to come out later. They're going to go to the set. She says no complaints. Life is good. Because Oliver had some issues with his last lady, remember? And then Rachel, artist formerly known as Raquel Levis, was involved because he popped up on Vanderpump Rules. People were putting out some DMs. There's a little bit of a mess there. So I'm glad Oliver is on the straight and narrow. And I hope Garcel did give him a good talking to. Garcel in a talking head says, I don't want him to rush into another marriage, so let me say that right now. Take it slow, please. Well, Garcel, don't tell us. Tell your son. When I started in this industry, I was always told when you're in your 40s, it's over. Women don't work after 40. Women aren't valued after 40. And they show Garcel walking from her hotel room to her waiting car, and guess what? Slow-mo. I feel like sometimes when a scene drags a little bit, they'll throw in like a slow-mo or like an edit kind of a thing. Garcel keeps talking, and to think I'm in my 50s. I'm working more than I ever worked. I get to set, I look at locations, I go to the actual set, I watch production being done, and we see Garcel doing all of this. I mean, she really is doing amazing. Now, she's also right about women as they age. They're women, you guys know, I don't need to mansplain womanhood to you, but so many women are told they are not valued over a certain age. And Garcel is saying that is bullshit. Now, obviously, Garcel is a supermodel as well, so it's a little different. But Garcel's not out there doing things just on looks. She's like getting into production. Like, that's a pretty cool thing. And she says, I couldn't have dreamt this big, honestly. And I think that truly is amazing. And all of a sudden, our favorite song comes back. I love my life. I'm hooked on this feeling. I love my life. Every day is a weekend. I'm satisfied. And the next scene brings us to the Chiron pops up. Thursday, May 9th, 12:56 p.m. Now, when Bravo gives you a specific time, they'll do that on Summer House sometimes, and I'm always like, what the fuck? I don't care. What do we need to know it's 9:47 at night? Like, is somebody keeping track? Like, they're watching a baseball game? They're like, okay, 3 strikes, I'll mark that. Like, no, what? Okay, so 12:56, but we know when they do it on Beverly Hills or a Housewives show that usually it means we're about to get some kind of big news splash, right? Like a Tom Girardi thing or something. But a reporter is delivering a story saying, unfortunately, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Dorit Kemsley has announced her separation from husband PK. The headlines are flashed. DailyMail.com, Radar, E! News. I mean, truly in 2024, those potentially are the top 3 media outlets, Back in the day, it would be like the Washington Post, the New York Times, LA Times, and now it's like Radar, E! News, Daily Mail, Cat Fancy. The headline says, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Dorit Kemsley and PK Kemsley break up after 9 years of marriage. Dorit and PK release an Instagram message. We get to see that. I'll do it in PK's voice. We as a couple have been subject to a lot of speculation about our marriage. We've had our struggles over the last few years and continue to work through them as 2 people who love each other and share 2 amazing children together. To safeguard our deep friendship and maintain a harmonious environment for our children, we have made the mutual and difficult decision to take some time apart and reevaluate our friendship while we prioritize our children. We appreciate your love and support while we continue to do the work necessary throughout this journey. With love, Dorit and PK. P.S. PK has direct ownership of Boy George. He's going with me, PK. So that is the Instagram message that was posted that we all read. Garcel's on the set reading this. I love that Garcel's on a set and it's like, I've got to check Instagram real quick. Uh-oh, wait, what is this? And Garcel's reading it going, okay, we've had our struggles, da-da-da. Of course, it's Dorit. It's long-winded. Wow. This Dorit will never beat the long-winded allegations. Even on Watch What Happens Live last night, Andy was like, Dorit, I want you to answer this question in a timely fashion. And Dorit's like, I know, Andy, please. Like, I mean, truly, it gets brought up so fucking much. We're at Sutton's house, and Sutton reads everything. She's with her property manager, Avi. Well, they made the mutual and difficult decision to take some time apart. I say, well, this is sad. It's always sad. It's always sad, Avi. And Avi's like, Frantic violin music plays. We're driving across town as Dorit. Dorit driving across town. Here it is, folks. This is a woman on the verge. Dorit lights up a cigarette. Yeah. It's time for the real Dorit to show up. It's me, Dorit Kemsley. I smoke Marlboro Reds unfiltered, and if you don't like it, you can suck my dick. It's me, Dorit. Kyle's on the phone to Erica, and she's like, what about what just came out? Dorit just posted. Erica's at her house.
Okay, to be honest with you, I knew. And she told me in the Pacific Design Center, she asked me not to say anything, and I didn't.
And Kyle's like, wait, who's shopping at the Pacific Design Center? Are you sure you can afford that? No, Kyle goes, oh God, I really do feel so bad.
I do too.
And to go through this publicly, it's hard no matter what.
Oh, it's so fucked up. Oh, Tom's calling. No, I can stay on the line. I'm good.
Kyle in a talking head goes, I automatically go back to the couple that was so in love. Everything she said he laughed at. What went wrong? Kyle, I mean, it's like, you know what went wrong in your marriage? What went wrong in anybody's marriage? Shit happens. Like, I mean, like, what? Yeah, you could be like, yeah, relationships are so fucking tough. It's shocking that anybody stays together. It's really hard out there. But I also like that Kyle said everything she said he laughed at, and that's why she thought the couple was so in love. Like, oh my God, Dorit said the shittiest jokes, he'd still laugh at him. Haha, PK, pull my finger. Okay, toot. I can't believe it. You got me. And it was a little toot. You got PK. I love you. Can I see your boobs? Anyways, the violin music still playing. We see flashes of Bel Air signs, flashes of Dorit driving, car horns honking like, stop smoking in the canyon. Dorit taking a frantic drag off her cigarette. Now, I do want to say on Watch What Happens Live, and Us Weekly did an entire article about this. Dorit said on Watch What Happens Live going, I was actually being chased by the paparazzi. I was like, oh my God, yeah. So that's what she's saying in the scene. There was an added layer of franticness because she was being followed by the paps. Or it could have been Big Pharma. Remember Denise Richards and Aaron? And Aaron was like, I had to lose him. Big Pharma was following us. And it's like, fuck, hey, fuck not. You're married to Denise Richards. She's a star. Like, paparazzi could have just been, but sure, let's go with Big Pharma. Okay, yeah, man, 5G. I got it. So I love Dorit frantically trying to lose the popper, like Britney Spears in the early aughts. Like, I was just like, holy shit. And then I was like, oh my God, it's just, I feel like Dorit is going to break at some point. Either like she already breaks towards Kyle, and I think that's going to get worse. But I feel like Dorit is taking no shit this season. And I'm here for it, but I am worried because like Jen Pedranti is somebody that finally blew up at Tamara on OC, and she used her words so elegantly and nailed Tamara against the wall. And I just don't know, like Dorit made sense so far a couple of times. So I'm hoping she's able to bring it in a succinct fashion when it all goes down. Anyway, Sutton in a Talking Head's like, well, when Dorit said everything was wonderful with their marriage again, well, this is smoke and mirrors. And then Garcel in a Talking Head goes, it's serious and there's something in the water. Who else is married in our group? No one. God damn. And Dorit still driving, dragging on that cigarette, oh, I need it. And now we've had so many, in fact, when I love this Instagram account, Real Housewives Smoking? She's been on the show before. She's great. But there's been so many photos of Dorit smoking through the years, but she's never done it on camera. So this is like a big reveal. This is like Kyle, if Kyle were to ever come out of the closet, like a big deal like that. It's like, finally, Dorit has admitted that she's a smoker. And I hope she does it in every fucking scene. I hope she's in restaurants where you're not allowed to smoke, where she's smoking. Hope she's in pools smoking. I hope they should have her in front of like a fucking Wheel of Fortune slot machine just smoking. Like, I love it. But kids, don't smoke. It's super not good. Anyways, she arrives at Kathy Hilton's house. This this separation announcement is so intense that she got an invite over to Kathy Hilton's. I was like, Dorit's like, things are looking up. Ha ha. Kathy Hilton, not too shabby. She's the mother of Paris Hilton. Dorit enters the front door and goes, hello, I'm here. Hello, Kathy. She wanders around the first floor, like looking for Kathy. And we see Kathy upstairs getting glam. If that's what we want to call this, like legitimately, it looks like Kathy is being pieced together again, like Humpty Dumpty or something. She's wearing eye and lip masks, skin masks, like two people are working on her. One's on her hair, like one's on the makeup. She's hooked up to IV fluid bags, one yellow and one clear. I'm imagining the yellow one is potentially urine. Who knows? Kathy all the while is like sucking on a chocolate milkshake. It's probably a protein shake, like through a metal straw. And there's so many images. It reminds me of Silence of the Lambs. It reminds me of Dwight on The Office when he like put that thing over his face, like a big piece of bologna. It was startling. It was like a Terry Gilliam film. I don't think I'll ever forget that image. And at the same time, I want to give it up to Kathy Hilton for being so badass that she's like, I don't give a fuck. You can show me doing anything. You want to see me take a poop? I'll take a poop. I don't care. I'm Kathy fucking Hilton, right? So Dorit finds Kathy in her room. Well, hello there. I'm shocked Dorit was like, ah! Kathy, not opening her eyes or even moving, goes, hi, Kyle. I thought you were hi, sweetie. Dorit's like, don't move. I mean, listen, not that you can. They do the little kissies, or as much as they can do with Kathy being hooked up to machines. Kathy slits her eyes open. I like this. This is really pretty, this hair, Dorit. Oh, thank you. This whole thing? This is hair that I slept from last night and brushed out. Wow. In a talking head, Dorit's like, it's very ironic that that bitch Kyle has iced me out, and Kathy, thankfully, has offered support in my time of need. It's very interesting. I really hope that Dorit has like real friends. You know, like they all have real friends that never make it to camera. I hope Dorit has like a strong support system. And this, I mean, it's not a bit, but it's like, you do hope that she has like real friends that you just never hear or see on the show. Kathy goes, well, I wanted to see how you're feeling. I love Kathy's like, come to me. I wanted to see how you're doing. Come to my house. I know. I really appreciate that, Kathy. And everybody read, and I don't want to call. I didn't want to call. That's really nice thing about this. It's not out of anger, Kathy. I mean, because I feel you really love him. I love Kathy's like, I don't know why, but I feel it. I do, very, very much. But in order for us to have a healthy, happy, peaceful marriage, there has to be work. Is he willing to do the work? Kathy's asking the tough questions. We swing on over to the Henry, the greatest neighborhood restaurant. Mauricio's talking on his phone. How do I do Mauricio? Hey, do you mind if you could just send me a little bio on her? That would be amazing. Awesome. I don't know if he's ordering like a girl or if he's like doing I don't know what would he, like if I could get a little bio, that would be amazing. Cool. PK walks up and he and Mao do a bro hug. What's up, brother? I gotta go. My buddy just arrived. Bye. I'm not good. I'm not good, Mo. I'm not good. Well, I saw the statement that you put out today. That's a fucking huge thing. It just came out an hour ago. I've lost my PK. It just came out an hour ago and it feels like super real. And I didn't expect it. It's like I was fine this morning and then and he's struggling. Like we're actually seeing PK emotional. And Mao's like, hey, you've been through a big day today. I've been separated now nearly a year. I've recently moved out. During this process, you're going to have hard days. You're going to have easier days. There's going to be days that you wake up and you're just going to be miserable. And then sometimes you're going to be on a ski slope with Anita and a couple of influencers in their 20s, and you're going to be like, this is amazing. But yeah, I've kind of learned how to enjoy the journey versus looking for a solution. Okay, well, that's interesting, but most men are not like Mauricio, right? PK goes, Kyle texted me. She did? Yeah, beautiful text. Sent me a picture of her knockers. Said it would cheer me up. No, but Mal looks concerned. He goes, nice. And PK's like, you're an inspiration to me, both you and Kyle, in terms of how you've conducted yourself, right? Now, it's different for me because my kids are younger. Yeah, you forget they have these young kids. And also it's different because I don't think Dorit is hanging out with any country singers yet, right? And Mao's like, well, did you talk to the kids? No. And Maurice's like, zoinks, what? And he's like, no, we're not going to be talking to the kids. I'm not saying I know what we're doing, because the truth is they're 8 and 10. It's a very personal thing, and no one knows our kids better than us. The scene fades out and PK's words echo. No one. And we're back over at Kathy's. And Kathy's like, well, did you say anything to the kids yet or not really? And Dorit's like, no, and we're not going to. So shut your big yapper, Kathy. I swear to God, if a word gets out to Jagaloo, it's lights out. Kathy perks up and looks at Dorit. Well, we can be doing things as a family like we're not in a toxic place. He's got a sober coach. A what? Well, I'm not privy to that. No, this is real. He's a full-blown alcoholic. Sorry, it's not funny at all. It's just funny how hard Dorit is outing him. He's like Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas. This dude is fucking drinking like a fish. He's bloated. He smells like Captain Morgan's. Jesus Christ, it's a full-blown alky. Oh, God. He's pissed himself day in, day out. It's a real fucking mess. Bed sores, Kathy, I'm telling you, bed sores. It's bad. Beep boop, bop, beep boop, boop, boop. But can we watch our words a little bit to read? Like, the kid's Will's, he's a full-blown alcoholic. He's got the gene. Oh, it's bad, Kathy. It's bad. He drank my nail polish remover. Like, I don't know. I just don't know if the full-blown alcoholic line was privy. And Kathy's mouth drops open again, and she blinks her eyes, a lot. But that's probably just her skin, like, waking up from all the rejuvenation that's been happening. We're back with Mao and PK, and Mao's like, what happened, PK? Well, I'll tell you what happened, brother. I got sober. It's just what happened. I got sober. I got clear, which I don't know if that I got clear. I realized I was with a fucking idiot. No, I got clear, and I realized we were just taking bites out of each other the whole fucking time. And I had a lot of resentment. Dorit isn't the most able to listen, she's not. And then, well, by the way, that's not great either, but it's not like Dorit's a full-blown fucking drug addict. No, it's just like she's not able to listen. But PK's an alcoholic. Dorit to Kathy, we're back there, and Dorit's like, he's got avoidance issues, communicating. Kathy goes, and are you a good listener? And then Dorit goes, yeah. Dorit's like, what did you say? Oh, yeah. No, I'm a good listener, yes. And then Kathy's like, do you still get together? Do you know what I'm saying? I love it. Kathy's like, the old hippity-dippity, the old tickle my pickle, the old hide the sausage. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking penis and vagina, Dorit. Do you? And Dorit's like, do we still have sex? Yeah. Do you remember that scene? Was it in Watch What Happens Live or a scene on Real Housewives where she talked about her and Rick, like, a couple years ago, they had sex in like a parking garage in Beverly Hills. Could you imagine that? Like, first off, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, I've seen Kathy Hilton a couple times in person, and already that's like rarefied air. You're like, whoa, royalty. But like, then you imagine like parking in a Beverly Hills parking structure, and then you're like, you just hear like moaning, like, oh, I thought you were Kyle. I thought you were Kyle. I thought you look over and it's like Rick humping Kathy in like a Mazda Miata or something. Anyways, Dorit goes, no, it's also fresh and new. So Dorit's like saying they don't have sex, right? And Kathy's like, are you jealous if he goes out to dinner? Kathy, what if he fires up Raya? Are you jealous? Dorit goes, oh God, no, he does that all the time. He's a very social guy. So communication isn't a problem for PK. It's just a problem with Dorit. And Kathy's like, you are not out and about with your friends every day and every night. I love my life. Yeah. Dorit shakes her head no. And Dorit goes, that's one of his biggest issues. Back to PK and Mauricio. And PK's like, when we started off dating, we were fucking like Bonnie and Clyde. I think he meant like we're Bonnie and Clyde, but I think he was using fucking as a euphemism, not like we were having sex like Bonnie and Clyde, right? I think it just meant like we were fucking like Bonnie and Clyde. She was my shadow. We were together. I'd go out. She would come and stylize the evening. And she socialized. And life got in the way. We had the babies. We moved. And you could say you were away. And I could say, well, I was working, trying to sustain the lifestyle Dorit and I live. And also to sustain her ambition. From my perspective, I wanted to know how much of our problems were me, how much were her, and what we could change. What I realize is I can't work it out unless we have put some space between us. Now, Dorit to Kathy is like, I wouldn't have chosen this route. I wouldn't have. There's something between having an argument and separating. You can work it out, but for whatever reason, and however, why ever, this is necessary. So that's an interesting little tidbit, right? Is that PK is the one that said, I need space. I wish Dorit was smoking in Kathy's room. Dorit, please. This is a... Fuck you, Kathy. Give me a baked potato with caviar. I'm going to be smoking my cig. Dorit in a talking head says, I chose to stick by PK's side through a bunch of public scrutiny, like the bankruptcy, the gambling debts, the suspected DUI. Careful words chosen there, the suspected DUI. But for PK, it's poof. Let's just get a separation. Isn't there a way to meet in the middle? Obviously, but not with someone like PK. It's black, it's white, it's extreme. Dorit then says to Kathy, at the very least, the worst case scenario, we're best friends forever, like Jax and Brittany. We'll co-parent our kids, and we both realize that we're not supposed to be married. Kathy looks like she wants to say something, but stops, which I'll always wonder what Kathy would have said in that moment. Like, my tummy hurts. Like what is she like? I've got a toot. Anyways, the song plays. Never been happier. Life is going smoother than the drink in my glass. So that was pretty intense, right? And PK, I will say, man, PK sobered up, right? But the sobriety didn't lead to a better relationship for them in the end. And now we're back at Sutton's house. And Sutton's like, well, what the hell do I have on my head? Don't stab me, I say, do I look weird? And her stylists are placing like this spiky Game of Thrones type headdress on her that is like metal with jewels and antlers. It's a little bit like the Antler Queen on Yellow Jackets on Showtime. There's a little bit of that vibe going on in this as well. I'm here for it, but this is the surrealist vibe, right? And Sutton's like, well, is this your idea of surrealism? Well, it's rather surreal. We're over at Erica's where she's in her glam chair. Cha-ching, more money just getting thrown out. Erica's like,
if Merce in the purse, if Merce is not there, I'm going to feel cheated. Imagine Merce floating above us all, tossing out like she tossed it on us.
What? What did you say? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about the glam and the Merce thing, and all the glam people were like, the two glam people were like laughing at Erica, like, the Merce thing, which like just they were talking about the Spain trip where Merce like flew all over them, and is that like, do you have, if you're glam and you're getting paid by the like, do you have to laugh at everything that the person that's paying you is saying? Because I was just like, how are they so enthralled by like the,
well, Merce isn't all over me.
And then I just took a break for a second, and I just keep thinking about Beverly Hills. And I wanted to also know, what do you guys think about the PK Mauricio thing? Do we have empathy or sympathy for PK as well? Because it feels like PK sobered up and realized he's kind of just done with Dorit in a sense. But I think he feels the heaviness potentially for his kids. But also, I think potentially also that vibe from PK is just really making Dorit angrier, but all that anger is just going to hit Kyle. Like, Kyle is going to be the person that she takes all of her anger about PK out on. I don't know. I took a break because I was like, my throat is starting to get hurt. You forget how much energy you put into these things. And I've been like, Anywho, okay. I'm not even making sense anymore. Okay. We go to Kyle, and there's slow-mo while she's like throwing a dress on the bed, trying on different shoes, and Kyle goes, hey, Siri, FaceTime Kathy Hilton. Do you guys use Siri? I barely use Siri at all. Uh-oh, I think I just activated my Siri. But I don't use it. I like that Kyle actively uses her Siri. Kathy's like, hi, what's going on? I'm just deciding what to wear to this theme. And Kathy's like, what about a turban? I like that Kathy's like, that's surreal. They flash back to Dorit at the reunion 4 months earlier in her red scarf where she looked like E.T., right? When Elliot wraps up E.T. in the bike. And Andy's like, well, what were you going for today, mysterious lady? And Dorit's like, fashion, fashion, fashion. And Kyle's trying not to laugh. It is interesting in those flashbacks, you do kind of realize how much Kyle does laugh at Dorit. And that's another thing that's got to piss Dorit off. Oh my God, am I starting to be on Dorit's side a little bit? Whew. Oh my God. Anyways, now Dorit FaceTimes Erica. Hello, Siri. FaceTime pool house. And Erica's like,
what are you wearing?
Oh my God, Erica. It's fitted fishtail and this massive plexiglass disc on my head.
Perfect. How are you feeling about tonight? How are you feeling about going into it?
As far as I feel about seeing Kyle, it is what it is. We're going to have to face it sometime. So Dorit's going into this thing thinking like, this is my big face-off with Kyle. And Kyle's going into it thinking, oh, I hope I don't break down and have a soda tonight. Like Kyle's not really thinking about it in the same way Dorit is. Kyle, back to her on FaceTime with Kathy. Obviously, with the news that came out, my instinct was to send a message. I feel weird to send a message to PK and not to Dorit. But if I send a message to Dorit, she's going to say it's a manipulation. Now back to Dorit going, the timing, Erica, of her messages always seems to be very convenient. They seem to be calculated.
Well, you both have valid points, and you're gonna have to express those to one another and see what comes of that.
Well, I'm ready for it. Man, Erica must miss Rinna on these shows so much, because Rinna would have been like, Dorit, you should bring a gun in. You should threaten Kyle with a gun. And Erica would have been like,
Yeah, whatever Rinna says, I love it.
so Erica now is forced to be like the sympathetic person. And normally that probably would have been Crystal's job, right? Anyways, now back to Kyle FaceTiming. I know who I am and what my intentions are, so that's all I care about. You don't get to say and do these things that are showing yourself not to be my friend and expect me to continue to treat you the same. I'm not her doormat. I don't know if Kyle has a full leg to stand on here, like the doormat thing. Like, you guys see each other so infrequently. Anyways, we're now at Sutton's party for her big surrealism party, and we see this lovely aerial view where the party's set up outside of the tennis courts adjacent to Sutton's house. But by the way, we've had not one mention of Santos this entire episode. Like, I thought, like, why don't we bring Santos to the surrealism party? Because that'd be like fucking weird to be like, oh fuck, there's a horse standing in the middle of this tennis court. That's pretty surreal. But no, Santos, anyways. There's surrealism artwork sprinkled everywhere, and Sutton's party planner, Nicole, is like, well, come and take a quick walkthrough, and I want to make sure we have everything. And Sutton in a talking head goes, well, I love this party. There's a woman on stilts with 3 faces, an alpaca, and there's a monkey, I say, an actual monkey. There's going to be swimmers in the pool, and there's oddities at the bar. And then we got Avi, he's all weird. When she says oddities, she says, it's going to be arties. Fashion is odd. It's surreal sometimes. So let me see what everybody can come up with. They should have all just done ayahuasca and called it a day. Jennifer Tilly's the first to arrive in a black dress of swans with a black swan on her head. She's like, Sutton, isn't this amazing? It's so gorgeous and glamorous. Oh my God, you look fantastic. You look beautiful. You look great. Of course, Sutton loves Jennifer. It's like, damn, I want Jennifer Tilly to pump me up every day. The guests begin to arrive. Dorit gets out of her car in slow-mo, and then she almost trips in slow-mo, which kind of like, which is like, oh shit. I need a cigarette immediately. And she's wearing that shiny silvery dress with a large round flat hair, like clear plastic disc hat. Like she's wearing like a record album on her head, but like a really like she's wearing Saturn around her on her head. It's completely ridiculous. And Dorit's like, you both look fabulous, amazing. And Sutton's like, we got a swan and we got a deer.
To choose the right audio apps for you.
Oh, sorry. Siri's mad now that I made fun of it. Anyways, and Jennifer goes, and a satellite disc. And Dorit repeats, and a satellite disc, because I'm wearing one on my head. Sutton in a talking head goes, well, what in the hell is Dorit wearing? I love that Sutton's like all like bonered up on surrealism, and then she's like, what the fuck is, that's fucking weird. That's not surrealism. That is stupid. I say. And then Sutton goes, at least you're free from STDs. And Dorit's like, what? And Jennifer's like, what? And Sutton's like, well, it's like a condom. It's like a condom on your head. Who is Sutton boning, and what kind of magnums are Sutton's men wearing that she thinks this disc on Dorit's head is like a is she fucking the Jolly Green Giant? What is going on here? And Sutton in a talking head was like, does Dorit know what surrealism is? Because it looks very modern. She went to the wrong wing of the museum. Let her live, Sutton. And Dorit's like, it's plastic, not rubber. Ooh, and Sutton's like, oh, okay. It was weird. Another kind of poke at Dorit. So the new girl of the group arrives. She looks like a gigantic cloud, cotton candy, and this is Bose, right? And Sutton's like, oh, Bose is here. And Bose is like, first of all, oh my God, this headdress. And Sutton's like, I know I can. Well, this is Dorit, this is Bose. And Dorit's like, good to meet you, Bose. I can't wait to talk your ear off. And Sutton's like, well, she said today she might need my assistant to help her out of the car. And Bose is like, he might be under here right now. Sutton in the talking head's like, Bose and I have met in Beverly Hills in the circuit. We go to a lot of the same parties and we have lunches, ladies who lunch. I love this. It's called the circuit. We do this thing called rich people circuit, These rich ladies eating meals, eating carbs. I like that also during the scene, Dorit is taking off like her like big circle thing on her head. And then when Bose comes up, she puts it back on of like, I've got to put my big circle thing on my head again for Bose. And Dorit calls her Boz. So I'm like, is it Bose? Is it Boz? Like, Dorit's like, Boz, great to meet you. Anyways, they have a flashback with Sutton and Bose having tea, and Sutton's like, well, Avi, we need something to put these tea bags on. And then she looks at Bose, she's like, the wood tea bag, I say, that wood haunts me. And Bose is like, it's not so bad. I feel like, is Sutton a freak in the sheets? Is she getting teabagged by the Jolly Green Giant? Like, Sutton's getting dirty this season. Anyways, in the scene, Dorit's like, so, Boz, what do you do? And Bose is like, well, I recently retired, 25 years in corporate America. So I was the chief marketing officer at Netflix, chief marketing and brand officer at Uber, chief marketing officer at Endeavor, which is owned by WME. So I've done a lot of things. Yeah. I mean, but 25 years, that's a lot of, all those companies, my God. And Dorit's like, you're corporate America all wrapped up in one fabulous human being, Boz. Mazel tov. And Bose poses model-like, and she's like this, you know what I mean? Sutton in a talking head goes, Bose is the real deal. She might pretend to be the boss, but she's the boss. Jennifer Tilly's like, look at this creature, oh my gosh. You look like a wedding cake. If I ever get married in Las Vegas, I'm going to come and borrow that dress from you. And Sutton's like, well, you want to go see the alpaca? You want to go see Sutton's alpaca? I call him Packy. Dorit and the talking head's like, my first impression of Bose is wow. Okay, this is a woman that understands the assignment. She's stunning. Not like that bitch Kyle. Bose is like, well, this alpaca is soft. How are you doing? And Dorit's like, eh. And Bose is like, what's up? Well, my husband and I just decided to separate, take some time apart. And Bose is like, oh, I'm sorry. I know. He's an alcoholic. To read again. Complete stranger. He's an alcoholic who just discovered it. He's actually on a journey to sobriety, doing this 12 steps in the program. He's an alkie, Bose. He's a big alcoholic. And Bose is like, well, good for him. 9 years married, small children, small. Well, that's a long time, so I'm widowed. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, have you heard about that bitch, Kyle? No, but the reason why I emphasize is that 10 years into our marriage, we separated. We never got divorced. But then he got sick, and we reconciled. He had cancer. And, it's just like, it's complicated, Why am I confessing this all to you? We've known each other after all of 20 minutes. Like, this is ridiculous. We were invited here to socialize, you and I. You and I are standing here in the middle of this party having a therapy session. It's really, just really unloading. And Dorit's like, there's no one else here. Bose in a talking head's like, I can tell if I like somebody instinctually. I look at you in your eye and I'm like, nope, not a good person. Yes, a good person. I'm in love or I hate you. Back in the stream, but what does Bose say what she feels about Dorit? Dorit's like, I don't know how old you are, but you look 12. And Bose goes, thank you, 47. Same. Cheers. Bose in a talking head goes, I love Dorit. I think she's fantastic. So we're in love. Okay, all right, Dorit, you got one. You got a little foot soldier, potentially. Garcel arrives, looking like a flower child in white. She says hello to Bose. Dorit looks awkward. Garcel to Dorit goes, hi, you look great. Dorit in a talking head, the last time I saw Garcel, she implied that my home invasion had been faked. We flash back to the reunion 4 months earlier, and Garcel goes, I believe you were robbed. I just thought that there were a few things that were a little off. And Dorit's like, you really couldn't care less. Dorit continues in a talking head, I don't really know where we stand, but I know it ain't good. Garcel in a talking head goes, I'm going to keep it light, and I'm not going to talk about the big disc on her head. I'm just not. Now, Eric and Kyle are riding and arriving together. And Kyle, they're pulling up, and Kyle's like, what's happening here?
I think you're fine.
And Kyle's like, if anything lands in there, let me know. Because she's wearing that antler headdress as well. Like, Kyle's got a big old antler headdress. And Kyle's like, Erica, I'm nervous. And Erica's like,
You're gonna be all right.
Erica kind of just like,
I'm collecting a paycheck. Let's go.
they get out of the car in slow motion. Erica looks like an exotic cat alien. I'm just a lot more money just going down the drain. Sutton sees him, and Sutton's like, well, antlers are the theme, because Sutton's wearing antlers. And Kyle's like, who's here from our group? And Sutton's like, well, everybody's here. And Erica's like,
Is that a llama? I left my llama behind in Pasadena. I couldn't bring my llama and my alpacas with me.
but Sutton's like, no, Erica, it's not a llama, it's an alpaca. Now, a man is standing next to Kyle and says, this is Harold, and it's a stuffed puppet monkey. And, the guy's like, well, when Sutton has a party, you have to bring him out. And Kyle's like, okay. Erica goes,
Let's go get some food. I'm hungry.
hungry?
I'm hungry.
Oh, God. Wasn't Erica Jane was like,
You don't want to eat no solids. Just drink.
anyways, they say they're going to go eat. Avi, Sutton's assistant, and Bose are saying hello, giving each other compliments. Garcel walks up, and Erica's like,
There she is.
and Garcel's like, how's life? I feel like I haven't seen anybody in a while. I'm telling you, these are just co-workers. And Erica's like,
Well, we've seen you on Instagram. You've been busy.
and Garcel goes, my age. I've been at it for so long.
I just loved when you had a shot of your crew and it just said Garcel Productions.
And Garcel goes, that's a big deal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's exciting. And what's up with you guys? And Kyle goes, oh, not much. And then they laugh. And Kyle's like, well, Mal moved out like 2 weeks ago, and Alexia moved out right before that. And Garcel's like, oh my God. And Kyle's like, you know what I mean? A lot of changes. A lot. Wink. Garcel goes, how are you taking care of yourself with all these changes? You know what I mean? Erica's like,
That's what I said.
Kyle goes, I spend time with people that make me feel good. I also wanted to talk to everybody tonight, and since you're sitting here and I feel safe with you, I'm going to start with you. Like all the tabloids, all the stories. And they flash a bunch of headlines with the words Morgan Wade, female lover, romance, rumors, scissor sisters. Kyle continues, all those stories they're putting out there, the curiosity about the person they're always talking about. I'm not using her name intentionally. I don't want to speak on anyone's behalf except my own. So she's saying, I don't want to say Morgan's name. I'm doing this intentionally. I'm setting a boundary. And Garcel in a talking head goes, it's a little too late not to say Morgan's name. We've been talking about her. She's been with us. I mean, Garcel is totally right. Like, you can't put the jack in the box back in the box. Is that the saying? Anyways, we flash back to the tattoo parlor from last season where Morgan's like, I mean, they're gonna assume you're having a midlife crisis or something with the extra tattoo. And Kyle's like flirtily smacks Morgan's arms like, great Morgan, thanks. Remember when Kyle was like giddily laughing like a junior high with like their first crush? Like, oh my God, stop it, Morgan. I'm Morgan Wade. We're back at the Surrealism ball, and Kyle goes, right now there's just nothing to say. I wish I had some story to say, but that's just not what it is. And Garcel goes, so you're not with her? I can ask that? We're not saying her name. You're not with her? I can ask that? And Kyle goes, no, I'm not. The tabloids created an enormous amount of pressure and emotional distress, and the media scrutiny. Radar online. I mean, gosh, listen, I think we all want Kyle to be happy, right? Most of us. I think a good portion of people want Kyle to be happy. I, like I said, could give a rip about her sexuality, but I do know that people have to come out in their own time if that's in thing is all. And sexuality, there's a spectrum. I mean, there's a lot of different things. And I think Kyle, if she did have feelings for Morgan or does have feelings for Morgan, it's something that probably surprised her as well. So she has to deal with it, but then also let her family know and all of these things before she would let us know. So of course the media scrutiny sucks, but that is like, it's like in The Godfather with the mafia. Like, this is the life we chose. When you're on a reality show, it's part of the life that you chose, unfortunately. Like Teddy Mellingham's going through all that shit with her relationship right now, but she's not on reality TV. Kyle is. And unfortunately, your life, or what we hope is your real life, is the actual show. So she's trying to set this boundary, but I mean, it's weird though, saying like the tabloids created this. Like, oh, I was just hanging out with this 27-year-old country singer, but it's the media and the memes. That's what actually did it. And it's like, well, no, two things can be true at once, right? And then Garcel interrupts this and goes, well, the music video wasn't helpful either. It felt like you were playing coy. Remember, Kyle directed that music video, or did she direct it, or she was just in it, where the whole thing was like her and Morgan, like being hot and heavy with each other. Kyle goes, it wasn't just myself I was considering. It's not my place to talk about other people. Well, then go home, Kyle. That's what we're here to do. We're literally here to talk about other people. Garcel in a talking head goes, Kyle doesn't owe us or anybody about her sexuality and what's going on in her life. But do we want to know? Yes! Inquiring minds want to know. Kyle goes, I'm still figuring things out myself. I still am. What I said last time we were all together was so much for me to say I couldn't believe I even said that. We go to the reunion 4 months earlier. Andy goes, could you see yourself with Morgan? And Kyle goes, I don't know. And Andy's like, okay, well, that's not a no. I'm evolving. I'm changing. Like Jax Taylor, every reunion at the end of Vanderpump Rules. I'm a work in progress. I'm clearly going through some evolution of my own, and I don't know what my future holds right now. And Kyle in a talking head goes, I have never, ever questioned my sexuality in my life, ever. But I think all of these crazy speculation actually did make me think twice, which is really bizarre. So she's, once again, like I was saying, that's the thing that really stuck out, is like she's saying the speculation actually made her question. And I'm like, I do want to know if she's being honest with herself or what. Like, is that the actual case? Kyle at the party goes, it's scary for me to admit to myself. And Erica's like,
also, too, to say that publicly.
And Kyle's like, well, I told my daughters at first.
Well, to say that out loud is a big deal.
Kyle's like, it is a big deal. And it really is a big deal. No joke. Kyle again in a talking head goes, I didn't want them to be embarrassed by me. I didn't want them to be angry with me. I didn't want them to think sharing that with them, sharing my feelings, that they would think less of me. I will say, and this is just speculation as well, I bet your daughters already fiercely love you. And I bet years down the line, they will be in such admiration of Kyle for telling her truth or letting them in on what she's going through. I think it takes a lot of strength to be vulnerable and to say that you don't have all the answers and to be honest with them and share that journey. Now, Dorit and PK going through something, but their kids are young, right? Some people are saying, well, you should have let them know in some way, but they're still so young. So I understand that to a degree, but yeah, I think in the end, it's just going to make that family tighter since Kyle's allowing them to understand a little bit about what's going on with their mom. But anyways, Kyle at the party's like, well, right now I'm in a situation. I'm just having to focus on myself, my girls, and keeping myself together, Well, get ready for Dorit, Kyle. Anyways, Kyle in a talking head is crying. She's like, Portia said to me, Mom, there's nothing that you could ever say that would make us love you less. She hugged me and held me, and it probably was my most proud moment as a mom. And so I hope I was kind of hoping that not Kyle would be stronger this season, but more realizing how much support she actually has, and kind of stepping into that power a little bit more. I was expecting that, but it sounds like there's still so much guilt surrounding this. But also remember that comes from like family norms, Kyle does care what other people think. Some people have this gift of not caring, but Kyle does care. And I think that's sometimes beautiful, and it sometimes really holds you back. Garcel goes, well, thank you for being honest, Kyle, and saying that. And I respect that. And I'll be here to cheer you on no matter what. It's all about how happy you are. It doesn't matter. I appreciate that. Here's the problem. I look around, and at the moment, Dorit approaches the lady. He's like, hello, Kyle. Hello, Kyle. Ah! After Kyle had this really beautiful moment, Kyle eyeballs Erica, but stands up and goes, I can't really hug you because of, the costumes are in the way. And Erica's like, do you want to come sit over here? And Dorit's like, Erica, she's fierce.
You know what it is? It's a catsuit and a cape.
I know, but I love it.
And they're like eyeballs, forward and backward.
On her shoulders, they're like really surreal eyeballs. Bose and Amanda approach, may we join? And Kyle jumps out of her seat. Wow, whoa, it feels like so much is happening with everything. And Bose is like, yeah, well, nice to meet you, Kyle. How am I going to get this in here? Because the dress is really big on Bose. And Kyle's like, I love it. Well, thank you. She gets her dress settled, gets into the seat, and Erica's like,
It's doing her own thing.
and Dorit to Erica's like, that was very awkward about Kyle. Ooh, did you feel the tension? The heat? Oh, people are going to think we're lovers. Oh. Erica goes,
Yeah, you guys, this is very interesting.
Kyle in a funky voice says to Garcel and Sutton, she's not looking at me. I'm getting no glances. And Garcel laughs, and Garcel in a talking head goes, you can slice the tension with a knife. Sutton and Garcel tell Avi that they have to go get a shot. Kyle, with her lips frozen and a forced smile, says, Are you guys leaving me? Ha! Garcel in a talking head goes, why would I sit around and be awkward? I'd rather go to the bar and have a cocktail. Sorry, Kyle. Garcel and Sutton twirl away in their costumes, and Erica's like,
If Sutton falls down to those antlers, I'll die. And then I'll steal everything that she has and put it in my new pool house.
Anyways, last but not least, we finally get the grand dame of Beverly Hills, Kathy motherfucking Hilton, in her driven car in a pale green princess-type gown and gets out of her car in slow-mo. Now, you know what? This could be slow-mo, or this could actually be the pace that Kathy Hilton moves. We'll never know. Her dress isn't very surreal, but I think it's just an honor that Kathy showed up, and Sutton's not going to question her at all. Kathy finds her sister and the group. Hi, angels. It's Kathy Hilton. Kathy to Bose, and I know who you are. And Bose is like, I'm Bose. And Kathy's like, I know exactly who you are. I thought you were Kyle. And Bose is like, so nice to meet you. Well, I'm thrilled to meet you, boss. And there's a moment of silence in the group, and Dorit goes, Bose! And Kathy smiles, no, it's boss. And Bose goes, she's saying the boss. I'll take it. It's all good. It's all. Kathy has a head decoration in her hair, and she's sitting next to Kyle. It's a head decoration, but it's her hair extensions. She's like ripping her hair extensions out. Like Kathy DGAF. Don't give a fuck, Kathy Hilton. Kathy is literally sitting down, ripping the hair extensions. Like, gotta get hair extensions up. Got to get off. Like just pulling at her hair. And Bose is like, are you trying to take that out of your hair? Kathy goes, so I can breathe. Otherwise, I'm going to have to change. Got to get all of it off. Kyle's trying to untether the hair decoration from her head, but Kathy's just literally yanking it. And it's yanking the hair extensions out. And Erica's watching going, hey. Kyle stands up and goes, for the love, hold on a minute, Kath. Everybody's watching with fascination. Also, the people around, Patrick and Paul, they're on the Jeff Lewis show all the time. And, dress designers to the stars, but they're there. So I noticed them immediately. Steven, who runs the Faces of Bravo account, was there. So I noticed a couple familiar faces at the party, which was funny to see. Erica's like, anyways, they're just trying to get this little hair thing out of Kathy. I mean, I feel like they're going to rip Kathy's head off. Bose continues in a talking head, goes, we are at a ball, sister, and you're just taking out the extensions out of your head, your own head? Even if my wig was falling halfway to the side, I'd be sitting there like this, holding it up. She holds her hand to the side of her head. But for me to take it off and sit in the chair? They show Kathy's extension that was being pulled out sitting in the chair. Oh my God, I need this extension for my reality show museum. It would be perfect. And Bose is like, when I tell you I have never seen that in my life, I have never seen that in my life. Bose, just you wait, man. I cannot wait to hear Bose's experience from this season. Sutton grabs a microphone. It's her time to speak. It's her party. Well, it's everyone's favorite time of the evening when I speak. I say, well, I'd like to thank all y'all for just being here, and y'all really celebrated in such a creative way. And I have a very special, fun performer that you get to see tonight, I say. And her name is Morgan Wade. And Kyle's like, what? Zoinks! And Morgan's like, hi, Kyle. I'm here at the Surrealism party. Here's a song I wrote about you. I met a girl in Beverly Hills. I took her pants off and fiddled with her butt. No, it's this performer named Yella. Yella. Sorry, I just really miss Morgan Way. I really was hoping that Morgan Way would be on this season. And that's like one of my disappointments with the first episode is that we get her in flashback. And I hope we get more flashbacks of Morgan. But I don't know. I liked her. I wanted to know more about her. Sue me, you know? Anyways, this performer's like, you guys look very surreal tonight. And I am loving it. And the performers are in these catbird creature suits and they're crawling across the stage and they start slithering and grinding around the singer. And Erica loves a good performance. She's like,
Here we go. Go, girls. Work.
I love Erica's like,
I'm a performer as well. Bet it all on blonde. Yeah, I know what you're doing. Those are called dance moves. Yeah, I've worked a microphone. Oh, it amplifies your voice. Yeah, that's an industry term.
And Yella starts singing like, tonight I'm looking wicked. You want to take me home and bust me out. And Erica goes,
Yeah, bust me out. Pop this pussy. Yeah.
Kyle in a talking head goes, I'm actually speechless. And Yella sings the chorus, see the power of pussy. Girl, you gotta be choosy. Super power pussy. And I wonder if this was like, let's get a Kyle reaction shot. Let's see if anything, Start smiling really big, like, yeah, Salvador Dali loved the power of the pussy. Yeah, big old surrealist loved pussies and surrealism. Erica's pretending she's up on stage. Remember that episode from a couple seasons back when Diana Jenkins, when her boyfriend husband guy was up there singing the holiday song, and Erica was like, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. She just over singing everybody. I love that Erica wants to be on that stage so bad. Anyways, Dorit's grooving down like, relationship's not going good, but I am grooving. Jennifer Tilly's loving it. Kyle's just standing there pretending to like it. Erica says to Sutton, Kyle's just standing there going, I'm still figuring things out. It's the media speculation about how I feel about this song. I refuse to participate. Erica says to Sutton,
I really love it.
Sutton in a talking head goes, well, I think Erica and I might be friends. That's all it takes, folks. Years of Erica treating Sutton pretty shitty, and one thing of Erica saying that she likes the Power Pussy song to Sutton. Sutton's like, well, this is all of a sudden turned into a beautiful friendship, I say. And Erica in a talking head goes,
do I get irritated with this woman and want to smack the shit out of her? Yes, I do. However, she has great parties. Also, I stole her Panthera ring.
Kathy's just kind of doing the mummy with her arms walking. You know what? I'm just thinking back to that first scene. Is there a chance that Kathy's dead? Like have they been reanimating Kathy this potentially last year? And that's what they're doing in that first scene. They're just reanimating her. And then that's what she's like Frankenstein's monster is tearing at her. Heat, fire, no. But she's kind of doing the mummy with her hands walking out. And Erica's like,
go, Kathy. Go, Kathy. It's your birthday. Go, Kathy.
And the singer's like, you gotta be choosy. And the performance ends and everybody claps. And Kyle finally takes this opportunity to grab Dorit. Kyle's like, I just heard the pussy song. Dorit, can I talk to you? Do you have a minute so we can talk? And Dorit's like, yes. God, another opportunity for Dorit to let me find my cigarettes. That's her power this season. So they go find a seat at the cocktail table. Dorit's like, Kyle. That's it. So Kyle. And Kyle goes, first of all, I would like to say I'm very sorry for what's going on with you and PK. I know we all have a lot of hurt and we both have a lot of feelings and thoughts about what happened. And Dorit's like, yep. Kind of like, bitch. And Kyle goes, and we both have our sides. So I know how I hurt you. It was obviously what I said on Amazon Live. Do you guys ever have fights with friends where you have to apologize for Amazon Lives? Dorit goes, well, that was the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. It was just finally I had enough. I had enough of feeling like I am tossed around, used whenever you want. thrown away, made to feel like. And Kyle's like, how can you say that? Well, I mean, she can say that because that's how she feels what you did to her. Dorit's like, I had to reevaluate whether or not we were friends. And Kyle's like, if you're only going to be aggressive and not be open, I'm not having this conversation because I'm hoping to get to the other side of this, okay? So Kyle really gets threatened when people push her. Like, once she says the initial statement, if somebody doesn't go along, Kyle does start to feel really threatened, right? Dorit's like, well, let's try to start because I think I'm going to take a long time. I think it's going to take a long time, Kyle. Dorit really just turning to screws. You're going to feel as bad as I feel one day. And Kyle goes, but we're going to have to start being very honest. I'm going to need you to listen now, okay? And Dorit's like, this is hysterical. And Kyle's like, why are you doing that? I'm fed up, Kyle. And this is the kind of bullshit I'm talking about. Let's be honest and actually talk about real stuff. So go on. And Kyle's like, Kyle goes, you're literally not acting like yourself. I don't know what's going on with you. Because Kyle can't control the situation anymore. And Dorit goes, because I'm not going to put up with this shit anymore, Kyle. I'm not lesbian. No, but she goes, I'm not, Kyle. I'm done. Done being your soldier. You're not going to walk over this one. No. It's be like walking on broken glass by any Linux. Okay, folks, that is the end. My voice is thrashed. We did it, folks. You know what? I got to say, I'm proud of myself. We did this in 2 hours and 4 minutes. Who would have thunk it? We did it. First episode in the bag. What did you think? Did we do okay? Thank you to Juliana Carroza. As always, she is so amazing, so incredibly amazing. Juliana, thank you so much. This made this so much easier and faster. So thank you. Remember, Friday, Salt Lake City recap. Saturday, OC recap. And then next week, we'll do some new shows, but not as many because it's Thanksgiving. And that's it, folks. I hope you have the best day ever. It's Thursday, time to party. I hope you like this. We're going to be doing it all season long. I think I lost a couple pounds doing that recap. But also, there's a Beverly Hills after show, which I'm going to try to take notes on and just like get some highlights so we can talk about it maybe on the pop culture roundup and see those things. Because it's all the ladies talking like a month ago about the first episode and stuff. So there's a lot more information in there. We'll probably get a lot more information coming out on social media. So stay vigilant. Let me know if there's anything that I'm missing. Give me your tips, your thoughts, who you think is in the right, who you think is in the wrong, and we will go from there. Signing off, it's Ryan Bailey from So Bad It's Good. Bye, guys.